today's show.
Jokic flips in another game winner, the Pacers won't let go of the rope, and we debate whether Luka is still the ROI favorite.
Steph Curry, James Dolan, the Utah Jazz fan, who will take home worst of the week.
And Karl Anthony Towns drops a couple of hammers in the best top 10 in sports.
It's Friday, March 15th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey. I'm J.E. Skeets, alongside me as always, Tass Mellis. We got the Aussie Lee Ellis. And over yonder, that's the bearded one, that's Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! Trey, what's up on a Friday night?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, Will Barton made quite the splash before last night's TNT game against the Mavericks, showing up in a TNT crew vest with a Nuggets assistant alongside him carrying a sign that read, Thrill National Television. Pretty brilliant marketing for Will the Thrill. But it brings us to today's question. What other things could TNT mean? For instance, maybe he just wants everybody to know that he is totally not ticklish, just in case somebody got any ideas. Or maybe he wants everybody to know who his favorite starter is, Tass, not Trey. But we want to hear from you. So let us know on Twitter, what other things could TNT stand for? Send them to us at hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get your tweets in. On tonight's show, we've got worst of the week. We got the best top 10 in sports. We got a very solid play, but let's begin with a little what you got. Everybody knows how this works. Trey's in charge, and we debate whatever he spits at us. TK, take it away.
Saw a couple of unique game winners last night in Denver. Nikola Jokic stole a win against the Mavs with a dinker-dumper of a jump shot as time expired. Meanwhile, in Indiana, Wesley Matthews tipped home a Bojan Bogdanovic miss with 2 seconds left to get yet another win for the scrappy Pacers. Guys, what was the better game winner, Jokic or Matthews? What you got?
This is tough. I love me some dinkers and dumpers. I love me some Wesley Matthews,
Right.
but I'm going to go with the original shot over a rebound, especially when that original shot is special, because Nikola Jokic doesn't score on drives hardly ever.
Yeah.
He scores on a drive basically once per game,
Yep.
and you can kind of tell why. I mean, he's not the quickest, most nimble on his feet. He does it from the post, he does it from elsewhere.
That's good defense too by
Great
Powell
defense.
right there. He's right in his face.
Better offense.
Yeah.
The flick.
And at the buzzer. Yeah, Deadspin put it best, I thought, today. Nikola Jokic is the god of the hideous game winner. Because this really isn't the first time we've seen one of these sort of dinkers and dumpers flip it up there, watch it drop. He's done this about 4 times now this season.
Yeah.
He's done it 4 times this year, in the calendar year of 2019, against the Heat and the Grizzlies and the Kings and now the Mavericks. These sort of just like barrel your way in there, lumber your way in there, flip it up and watch it drop. It actually reminds me a little bit of like Duncan.
Right.
Just how he
Oh, yeah.
gets it up on the rim and has it drop. But, you know, he makes Duncan look like Baryshnikov in comparison.
He doesn't realize how clutch he is, I don't think, because he's throwing these up and you don't see any real great celebrations. It's just almost like, oh, that's in. But I mentioned on our drop earlier today, it's almost like he's heard the whistle and he thinks the play's dead and he just
Right.
throws the ball up
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
goes in and happens to win the game. But let's talk about Wesley Matthews, because that's a great hustle play.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't even involved in that play. He comes out of nowhere, catches the ball, throws it in off the bank. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of guys
That's
like
huge.
Wesley Matthews, who they picked up off the waivers to come there and make those hustle plays like that. He was probably ready in the corner in case the ball came out to him to shoot a 3, but instead, he doesn't just wait there and
Yep.
go, well, I'm out of this play. He gets himself in the possession and turns in an incredible game winner. So I think if you turn, in terms of like Jokic, that was a play. He got his basket, great. But Wesley Matthews created something out of nothing. So I go with that one myself.
The Pacers just don't die. They're down in this game. It sure seemed like they were done. But like many people are calling their season done, they just keep fighting back. Down double digits midway through that fourth quarter. Thaddeus Young, who's one of their captains, apparently went to the scorer's table to go check in, and he said, you know what, Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis are kicking butt. I don't need to go in. Let me go have a seat. And that shows leadership. And I think, you know, it extends throughout that locker room, how they're doing this without Victor Oladipo, everybody, you know, playing to their capabilities, including Wesley Matthews, who's come in and been awesome.
Yeah, because Wesley Matthews didn't just have that game winner there off the putback. He hit 2 big threes in the final 6 minutes of this game. You said it, they came back from 19. They hold on to the 3rd seed, surprising everyone. So
Great story.
And he had the
great
defense
play.
on Paul
Oh,
George.
huge defense on Paul George, twice in
Yep.
the same possession. So, hey, both are great. Trey, you got the answer. What's the best game winner?
I'm going with Wesley Matthews. I like the way he celebrated a little bit better. I feel like Nikola Jokic thought there was a little bit of game left to play. But moving on through the first half of the season, Luka Doncic was an ROI lock, and after 24, 11, and 9 and an almost game winner last night, he might still win, but the Hawks' Trae Young has made it a race, putting up averages of 25 points and 9 assists per game after the All-Star break. Guys, who's the Rookie of the Year favorite? Luka or Trae? What you got?
Has Trae Young done enough to sort of put himself ahead of Luka Doncic in the Rookie of the Year race?
Not
That's what we're
ahead,
getting
not
at.
ahead.
No.
But he's
made it interesting.
He's made it a very, very close race. I think Luka was on his way to almost unanimous Rookie of the Year.
We were calling the Rookie of the Year, I felt like 2 months into the season.
But Trae Young is definitely going to get some first place votes because he's been awesome. And what I like about it is he's not just scoring and shooting, he is getting his teammates involved. And the Hawks have been pretty competitive too.
Yeah.
We know they weren't, this wasn't a season where they're going to win a lot of games, but they have not been tanking at all. They've been competing, they've been trying hard, and a lot of it is to do with the fact that he has been their leader, scoring the ball, and then getting those other guys involved. So I still think Doncic wins it, but Trae has been fantastic basically since the calendar turned to 2019.
Yeah, and then he really picked it up after the All-Star break. I think just hanging out with everybody at All-Star Weekend probably gave him an extra bit of confidence.
It was the starters bump, wasn't it? Before that.
Came on the show and then he was killing it. Same with John Collins, same with Bembry, any of those.
Doncic.
Come on. Oh, we need Luka Doncic here. You're right. No,
Yeah.
but who do you got?
Yeah, I got Luka.
Yeah.
It means a little bit more too when you're doing it when everybody's sort of coming at you at the beginning of the year. March, when you're seeing a lot of guys, kind of upset other teams that are kind of chilling out waiting for the playoffs to come. Not to downgrade what Trae is doing, because Trae is making himself a star in this league. And I think sorry, what's that? You're welcome. Tass, not Trae. Trae, not Tass. Trae's my favorite.
Right.
I think he'll have a great year number 2 from the beginning of the year. It was understandable that Trae was going to have some bumps in the road, but I don't think people expected Trae to be going off for what he's doing in year 1 of his NBA career. He's having a very, very good rookie season. In other seasons, he may win Rookie of the Year, but Luka's a special guy.
And again, it's pretty cool. These are the two guys traded for each other on draft night. I think that it would be like, remember Vince Carter? He ran away with Rookie of the Year back in '98, '99, but he was traded for Jameson. It would have been like Jameson, like really cranking it up in the second half of the season. That was a shortened season, I guess, and him balling out, and suddenly it's back and forth. Because you're right, it would look like it was going to be unanimous with Luka, and now Trae's going to get some first place votes, but Luka's ultimately still going to win this, and rightfully so. Trae's balling out since the All-Star break. Luka has also upped his scoring per game since the All-Star break as well. So it's not like he's suddenly can't hit a shot. He had one bad night there the other night. It was brutal, I get that, but he's still scoring 22 a game since the All-Star break as well. And like as we saw in that game last night, I mean, he nearly won them the game. So it's very exciting. I think Luka wins it. Trae, what's the answer here?
I'm still sticking with the donk. Like you mentioned, Skeets. Luka has raised his game two.
You okay
Trae
tonight?
just got on the level. Yeah, I'm not okay. It's all right, though. Moving on, Paul George was back in Indiana last night, where he spent the first 7 years of his career. When asked by The Athletic if he'd ever have his Pacers jersey retired, PG responded it'd be 30 years from now if so, and that he's not sure if he did enough to have his jersey raised to the rafters. But what do you guys think? Will the Pacers retire PG's jersey? Yes or no? What you got?
No. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to the franchise, and if they want to retire it, they can. And he had a pretty good time there. 4 All-Star appearances. He was clearly an
Couple
outstanding
All-NBA
player.
nuts,
Yeah, took him to the conference finals there a couple of times against the Heat. But I think when a player basically entering his prime says, I don't want to play here anymore, I think that does count against you as well, because he's leaving some really good years there, but he's going to have probably another 4 or 5 absolutely dominant years as well.
But hold on. I mean, the counter to that is, do you think Vince Carter's going to have his jersey
Well,
retired in
that's
Toronto?
the thing. Every story has a different context to it, because Vince, no, but I mean, Vince did the same thing. He won it out, and at the end of your career, everyone feels a little bit more nostalgic about
Yeah,
it.
and that's what Paul George said. He said maybe in 30 years.
Yeah. But which number would you retire anyway? 24 or 13?
Ooh, good question. Yeah, he's got too many numbers. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Vince has a little bit more of the cultural impact, number 1. Number 2, he solidified the basketball franchise in Canada. When there were questions about whether or not it would stay, ownership had a lot to do with that as well. Vince was special in another way, and it was a team that came around in 1995. This Pacers team has been around for a long time.
Yep.
They've only retired special guys. Not that Paul George isn't special, but they've only retired guys that have been around their team for a very long time.
Yeah, some of them with the ABA.
Yeah, exactly. In the modern era, I think we'll look at Reggie Miller as their only guy really, since George McGinnis in the 80s. So that was a lifetime Pacer. I like franchises that do this. If you've got a a franchise that's been around for a very long time, you need guys that have been on your team for a very long time.
Yeah, but like you did say, I mean, Paul George, 4-time All-Star in his very limited time there. What, 7 seasons in Indiana, but he missed one too, so really 6. Reggie, just a 5-time All-Star, 3 All-NBA selections too, over 18 years. I'm just saying.
But
And the other thing is-
every year with the team was important.
yeah,
being
yeah,
with
yeah.
Indiana.
I also think if they're going to, retire another jersey, I think they would look towards someone like Jermaine O'Neal ahead of Paul George here. He gave him 8 really good seasons.
Yeah.
That guy was like a 19-10 guy, 2.5 blocks per game. He was on good teams as well at times for the Pacers there, went to one conference finals. And then, maybe even like a Rick Smits. You talk about a guy that played his entire
Forever,
career there, 12 years, like a 14 and whatever, 8-7 guy. So
Jeff
yeah,
Foster,
I think
get them all in there.
I
Get
think
Austin Crochet.
30 years from now, though, it's
Why 30
possible.
years? Why
I mean,
does it have
just
to
like
be 30?
way
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
future.
yeah.
Way in the future.
No, I mean, he was a very, very good player there, but he just said as well, like, I don't want to play here
No,
anymore.
that-
So-
30 years from now, they're going to have virtual jerseys. Everybody can get retired.
Wow.
Right? Adam
Just
Silver
blew
showed
my
us.
mind. Trey, let's go to you. Are you ready for this one, Trey?
I'm gonna say no, and that's all I'm gonna say. I think my tongue is too big now. I don't know what's happening over here.
All right, let's hear from you guys on Twitter, #TheStarters. Do you think Paul George gets his jersey retired by the Pacers 30 years from now? When we come back, though, we got worse of the week.
TBT, too big tongue.
The Starters is presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey.
Welcome back to the show. We cover a fantastic league, a sublime league, but sometimes guys make mistakes. It's time for Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
First nominee is Stephen Curry. What did Steph Curry do? Well, he stood up. While he was on the bench here, DeMarcus Cousins was a passing machine in the first half of this game. He's just trying to get another assist. Steph can't stand up.
He shoots it, too.
If Steph doesn't stand up, Cuz doesn't try to find him. Cuz had 6 assists in that first half. He was beasting. Steph's just chilling.
That's why you got to keep your warm-ups on, different color. A white uniform could have been wearing all blue. Never happens.
I mean, he did have a
Great
towel on his head.
Also true.
Maybe don't pass to the guy with a towel on his head, but you're right, he did stand
Different
up.
towel color.
That's
Maybe. Got to go red. Second nominee, in all Warriors seriousness here, Steve Kerr. Because we can all agree, if they're healthy at 100%, this team should be the championship team. But incidents like these where Kerr gets caught saying, "So sick and tired of Draymond's ish," they make us wonder, what is going on in that locker room? Are they all together? Is there a tiny crack in that foundation? So I ask you guys, do you think that is a splinter of a crack in that foundation?
That incident specifically.
Yeah, because we have, I know we're compounding on other incidents
Yeah.
this year, but it's hard not to. I guess because we're all looking for incidents with the Golden State Warriors. Are there reasons? But we saw KD yelling at Dre.
Yep.
We saw KD sort of sniping at Steve Kerr in a post-game press conference. Then we see this. Kerr, obviously, angry with Draymond
Yeah.
Green.
I think it's
not
part
the
of,
first time, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's part of the deal with Draymond because remember 3 years ago for that massive game in OKC that night where apparently Draymond went at Steve Kerr and said, "I'm not a robot" or whatever, and they won that game. They actually lost the championship that year. But the thing is, they can get over these things.
Yeah.
I think Draymond's just a feisty guy and he brings it out of people. But ultimately, the Warriors know that they need that sort of Draymond on their team because
Yeah.
he does actually still obviously help more than he hurts that team. But sometimes, he's probably pretty frustrating to deal with.
I should mention when Steve Kerr was asked, "What did you say on the floor?" He had some fun with it. Of course, he said, "I said I beg to differ with Draymond's approach tonight." Literally. And then he had some more
It's a
fun.
good way to diffuse it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Kerr does
Yeah.
this all the time with humor. And then he had this to say, too. Right?
He's great. It's 2019. George Orwell was right. He just had the year wrong. He wrote 1984. The title should have been 2012 or so. It's modern life. Everything is recorded. Everything is filmed. I've decided I'm going to go get a giant laminated board with all of my play calls, and I'm going to turn into an NFL coach from here on out.
Careful, Tess.
Oh.
You're being recorded.
Ooh, he's
Look
got
at
you.
it, look at it.
I'm
He just
sick
got you.
and tired
He got
of
you.
Lee's ish every single
There's
night.
a fracture within the
Got me.
starters.
You got me.
Oh,
Got
boy.
me. Got
Okay.
me.
Not me, not me. Give it.
What are you going to do with that?
Don't you worry, all right?
What's going on Instagram is a problem.
Behind the scenes.
Third nominee, and pretty close to being the winner, is Knicks owner James Dolan for banning a fan from Madison Square Garden for this and only this. Watch.
Sell the team! Anything I should sell the team? You want to not come to any more games? Why? because that's rude.
It's an opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. And you know what? Enjoy watching them on TV.
So, that fan banned for that incident for saying sell the team and having that back and forth with James Dolan. James Dolan did a little media the next day trying to explain the situation, saying he was ambushed and that it was a planned attack. And it definitely was planned, and it was sold to TMZ. But
not an attack.
no,
or an ambush.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if he used the word attack.
Yeah,
he used the word ambush. That's 100%
Yes, he did.
certain.
Yeah.
It wasn't an ambush. And he didn't have to ban a fan for saying sell the team.
Yeah. And he did admit to, I shouldn't have taken the bait. That's the weird part. Even in the interview, I think Michael Kay says, you're a winner. You're the billionaire in this instance. You own the team, you own the stadium, you own other teams and the Rangers and Liberty and all that. Like, why are you even why are you even engaging with someone just yelling sell the team? And it's not like you haven't heard that before either. It was odd.
And you thought, Lee, that he may retract it in the future?
I think he might at some point.
The lifetime ban on this
because
guy?
I think that would actually then portray him in a good light. Because they can say, you know what, he probably overstepped the mark. Here's a way to sort of, bit of an olive branch here to say, I'm not that bad a guy.
Perhaps he could ambush him with a pair of tickets to the Knicks game. Gotcha! You're coming to the game, buddy.
But the winner this week is this Utah Jazz fan who was banned from Utah's arena for life for spewing hatred at Russell Westbrook on Monday. Westbrook said he was told to, quote, get down on his knees like he used to. 5 fans were warned for language spewed at Russell, but no one was kicked out, so we can only imagine what was said. Next day, the Jazz conducted an investigation. Witness accounts and video evidence led them to their decision of banning the fan. And today, a few days later, after reviewing videos from last year's playoffs, they retroactively banned another fan. Kerr was right. Everything was recorded. In this instance, video used for good, because I think we can all agree that fan should have been banned. Because, I mentioned that one line. Imagine the things that were said that were spewed at Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook, good on him for stepping up, yelling back at him, so we all took notice, and for the Jazz fans also stepping up in support of Russell Westbrook.
And the Jazz handling this well. Even the owner Gail Miller talking last night before the crowd, before the game, saying we're better than this. There should be zero tolerance. So I mean, they're handling it very, very well in my opinion. Get out of here, idiot fans. You're always going to get worse through the week. When we come back though, we got your best top 10 in sports. Get your phone out, Lee.
All right.
You're gonna want to record this one.
All right, I'm doing it.
You'll be saying Catmandu twice.
Really?
Yes. Welcome back to the starters. It's time for the top 10 plays of the week. Let's start at number 10. That makes sense. We start with Kyrie Irving against the Lakers. A little showtime here from Kyrie. Round the back, and then the little jelly finish. Whoop! English on that, yeah.
Just a little sauce because he can.
At number 9, Kelly Oubre has been looking good in Phoenix. Here he looks great.
I'd like to see him in a dunk contest.
Sure.
Sneaky hops.
Yeah.
He's fluid. Still has a little power behind that. At number 8, we could have picked a number of John Collins plays from this week, but we're going with this one where he catches the oop, cocks it back, and throws it down. This oop not thrown by Trae Young. This one didn't hurt her.
He saves a bad pass there.
Oh! Nice finish, JC. Bembry loves it. Oh, the drip god loves it.
At number 7, it's Abdul Nader, the big dunk on Montrezl Harrell.
Oh!
Got him.
Don't be a hater. That's Abdul Nader. Crushing it.
He's made the top 10 a couple times.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. At number 6, we got 2 big dunks from Karl Anthony Towns, Lee. This one
Nice.
over Jeff Green, trying to draw the charge.
So that's Catmandu.
Yeah, okay, that's Catmandu. We got another one here. This one on the plum dog, big left hand. I
can
feel it. So what's that one?
This one's Catman2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huge, huge dunk.
Well, we got Catman 2 LeBron dunks in this one. Josh Hart,
Oh,
LeBron off the glass. All right.
This is love one.
Yeah. Nice little jiggle.
Was a 1. First dunk against the Bulls, but the second dunk against the Bulls is beautiful. That is a dunk contest dunk there, off the bounce. Oh.
LeBron still owes us a dunk contest.
Yeah, I'd like to see him in a dunk
Yeah.
contest sometime too.
At number 4, it's Donovan Mitchell.
Oh.
Just dropping Nerlens Noel. He got caught in the Spider-Verse there. Down he goes. Step back.
I like how Nerlens doesn't try to
He
fight
doesn't
back.
even try.
He's
He's like,
like,
my back is turned. I just did the splits. My ankles got shattered. Gotta hit the shot though, and he did.
At number 3, it's this Derek Jones oop. It's number 3. Oh. The thrunk by Derek Jones.
Looks like he's 20 feet away from the hoop when he catches it.
And 20 feet up, too. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So good. Yeah, that's not number 1 somehow, because we got 2 great plays from Thursday night's game between the Mavericks and the Nuggets. Yeah, at number 2 is Luka Doncic dunking on 2 nugs here.
The dunk.
This would have been a game winner if it weren't for number 1 on our list. Spoiler alert, but man, that was huge there from the Rook. Catching bodies.
Unfortunately, Luka missed the free throw, opening the door for this. Nikola Jokic. Floater.
It's not pretty.
Flicker.
But he got the job
Game
done.
winner.
So smooth.
That's his style. That's Nikola's style. He finds a way.
Oh, man.
to
He
get it
blasts
done.
Powell right in the chest. Oh, Luka. Oh, Luka. That's all right, Luka. You're number 2 on the top 10 list. Best top 10 in sports. Don't hang your head. It's a great game. All right, when we come back, Lily, very solid play. Doubleheader on NBA TV tonight. Bucks and Heat. That could be a first-round series we see in the playoffs, followed by the Bulls and the Clippers. All right, we asked you what other things TNT could mean. You hit us up on Twitter, #TheStarters. Trey got some answers.
Yeah, we got some good answers. For instance, this one, Trey, not Trey, explaining the confusion earlier. I also like this from Gabrielle. Thaddeus, not terrible, getting on the GOAT board, but the best answer comes from Sam. Toes, not 10.
No.
Picture of old 8 toes and split.
Goodness. All right, tonight's pick and play. That makes me want to vomit. Tonight's pick and play. Hornets, Wizards on League Pass. Everybody taking the Wizards. Good luck to Washington.
Hey, you want to vomit? TNT, try not to.
Okay, Lee, VSP.
Yeah, it was a great night for Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, and he gets the VSP with this beautiful pass here to Gary Harris. Look at that, playing handball. Beautiful layup finish. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid. The Drop Podcast, it's up, it's available, it's a blast. Here's a little clip of Lee sharing a story about a bowling ball.
One day, me and Eight Toes went 10-pin bowling, and on the way out, there was a ball outside, and we don't know whose it was, but it was like someone brought their own ball, but for some reason they'd left the scene. So we were walking out, and we were like, you want to just take it? So we did. So I stole this ball, and I just drove around it with it in my car for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was just rolling around the back. Because it's so big and heavy, it actually like broke like the console because it slammed into it. Yeah. And so I just threw it in the trash one day, and I was just like, I mean, like, what were we ever going to do with a gigantic bowling ball? It's crazy.
Bowl with it.
Yeah, but I mean...
You could bowl with it. There's only Toes himself.
Yeah, he's got 10 fingers though, so he can go bowling. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, bowling's not an issue. Okay, you can steal things too, apparently. How dare you. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're getting filmed all the time. From out there, from up close. Whoa, I'm angry.
Race the weekend, people.